together.
Well, I think it's gonna do a countdown. Yeah, it's gonna do a 30-second countdown. There you go.
Why am I always frying during the show?
You said what?
Why am I always frying something?
Bitch, what did you trying to say? Fish?
Chicken.
Oh, thank God, not it ain't fish. I know them kids tired of that fish.
I
That's
don't know, but they like it. Guess the one
Chicken nugget, chicken nugget, fish stick, fish stick. All right, Miko, take us away.
Welcome, everybody, to Transfusion Radio. Here, ending confusion about transgender. I keep saying transgender radio, but we're a podcast now. Anyway, we're here with the four of us as usual. Sister Chloe, what's going on?
What's the tea? Not much, just hanging in there, That's
Yeah,
about it.
Sister Lachey, what's happening?
I'm clearly not ready yet.
Yeah. Sister Polka, what's going on
Hey,
with you?
and like always, I'm up here frying something.
Thank God it's not fish.
Shut up,
Mhm.
Chloe.
Now, today we're talking about danger and violence in the community and the surge of violence, and with transgender being looked at the way it is now across many places, it's getting dangerous for us just to be alive. So we're talking about today some of the violence and some of the danger that happens. But before we get into that conversation, I did see a post earlier posed in a trans woman group about a question. I wanted to get each one of your perspectives on this particular question. The question is, if you had a chance to take a red pill or a blue pill, which one would you take? If you take the red pill, you'll live the rest of your life as the ultimate beauty. Everything and everybody who looks at you will be attracted, but you'll be clocky. They'll know instantly you're a trans woman, but you'll be so beautiful that everybody will be obsessed with you. Or the blue pill. You're not beautiful. You're not all that pretty, but you're completely passable and nobody can ever get it. And you can live comfortably and walk through life and not ever be plagued with about it.
Bitch, I don't want neither one.
Which one of those pills would you take? That post, they put that in the transcript, and I thought that's an interesting question. Which ones would you take?
Um,
I guess I'll take the red shit. I ain't got no choice.
well, which one? I don't want to be pretty. I'm already dead, so I know what all comes with it.
Oh, bitch, hell no. I'll stay pretty.
Nah, just give me the let me pass. Let me get through.
That's interesting. What do you say, Lejay?
Who want to be
You're
just passable and walk through? I mean, I feel like if you're gonna do the thing, do the thing. There's a beauty to being a trans. Like I don't know. Personally, I don't feel like. Okay, let me be honest with y'all. I know damn well you can kind of get my tea a little bit. You might be able to get it. Although not saying everybody gets it because it'd be surprising me when some people like they don't know my tea. Huh. But yeah, like I feel like as far as being a trans woman, like I represent it in a way. Like I feel like at least I bring some kind of like it's not about what you do, it's how you do it. Like you bring it, you do. I do it respectfully. I think I try to carry the trans name so that when people see me, they see, okay, wow, trans people. Wow, they really, they really some. There are some that got their stuff together, their things together. So I mean, I'm not perfect, but I mean, I feel like you don't have to be. You don't have to be. There's something for every person. Like the girls that aren't passable, there's something for you. There's something for the girls that are non-clockable too. Neither one is really better. That's what I guess what I'm getting at. Not really. I mean, there
I
might be some
think
perks to being non-clock, like you
And I'm gonna tell
respect.
you the reason why I said that I would take the. I don't know which pill it was, but I would take the passable pill because
They
the
still gonna
passable
fuck.
huh, you can't hear me.
I can. I said they still gonna fuck.
No, not even that. It's just the passable. When you say passable, it just seems like it gives me like equity. Like it gives me a normal life in society to where I'm not being judged and I get to live and have access to everything everybody else have. You know, I'm always gonna come thinking like that. You know what I'm saying? So when you say passive, I'm thinking more like I don't have to worry about the stress of being trans and all that different type of stuff. So of course I'm gonna say passive because I want equal
And
opportunity for everything everybody else got equal opportunity to.
and the red pill, blue pill question is really a question of do you prefer passability to beauty? Because again, the red pill is ultimate beauty, but you're clocking, but you're clocking. But
Who
Mhm.
cares about being clocked?
but you're
Being clocked.
ultimately beautiful and everybody's attracted to you and all the men can't get enough. Or average, not beautiful, not pretty, but totally fish.
I feel
Nobody
like
can
I feel
nobody
like
can
it's
get it.
I think
Nobody
it's
can clock it.
I think it's beautiful to be able to represent the community as a proud trans
Mhm.
person. You have an opportunity to make a statement to the world about who we are. And why hide that? Why live behind a veil of of just normalcy when you can make change and you have power?
Have you ever met someone who is because you as an Aries person, you're naturally uh forward.
Clockable.
No, you're naturally
Right.
forward. You're naturally more you go after what you want more aggressively. Whereas there are timid people in the world who are non-confrontational, who don't and have to second guess and question themselves all the time. And those are the kind of people that don't necessarily want to be cast in a certain light all the time, everywhere they go. They don't want to be instantly branded transgender. They don't want because they don't have the ability or the power to fight back in the way that some other girls do. And so for some girls, it is about safety being passable. Some girls want to blend in not because they're not proud of being trans, but because being trans is being turned into something demonic and something evil that people are given an excuse to
Yeah,
be on.
that's what I'm saying, Mama Mika. I'm saying
Right.
if Pastor give me the ability to walk in the room without you putting I'm a trans or something's got to be wrong and you thinking you stereotyping me and boxing me in, I would definitely want to not be passive so I can walk in the room and you don't judge me off of nothing but what
Right.
I give you something to judge off of. And I think that's beautiful in itself. And being passive don't mean you don't take advantage of any opportunity to be able to advocate for your community. It just means you getting through the door and people not judging you for
Right.
who your identity is.
Right. We're not talking about Steph. We're talking about ultimate passability.
Right. And that's the difference.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the thing is, here's the thing. Uh, I don't walk. I've never had it. Never in my life, just in general, do I walk in a room and we acknowledge that I'm a trans person. I went through college this way. It was
Mhm.
she, her, and hers constantly. No one acknowledged the fact that I was trans. If you're in a professional setting, it doesn't really make sense to me why we're discussing or why the topic of what's between my legs is an issue.
But it
So
happens.
it's never an advert conversation. I feel like it's subtle. So and I don't know how to explain it. I feel like it's like a elephant in the room. Like I pass and I'm in a sense, they may know what's going on, but they still see me as her. And so it's
But
not
that
like I don't know.
but
And
to be
I'm
able to
not just
walk
a trans
into a
person.
room to be able to walk into the room and that elephant just not be there is what we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah, they may not acknowledge. Some may not clock it. Some may clock it and just not say nothing, and they all being respectful about it. But that elephant seems to always
As
leave
long
in
as
the
it's
room.
tolerated.
Can you go into it? And what we're talking about is the ability to be able to go into this room without that preconceived notion, without anyone second guessing, without that elephant there. You just walking in as a woman.
I don't feel like my statement really changes because like I said, at no point do we acknowledge. At no point do when we having conversations like, "Oh, you're a trans woman. How do we deal with that?" Like that's never. So I don't know if is that passability.
Well, see, but the problem is it's not always dealt with right there. It's dealt with in the in locker room chat or in break room chat when you're not there and they talking about well, was that a tranny that she used the women's restroom and all that kind of stuff. That elephant, even though it's not discussed in your face, it's still an elephant that was in the room. And that's how people end up getting fired or things start changing on the job. You saw what happened to Shannon. She had a good job in a office building and was working, and mama knows what she's doing. You know she's smart.
Mhm.
But because of what she is, which ain't got nothing to do with in no business setting. What she is ain't got shit to do with no business setting because mama is smart and know what the fuck she talking about. But for them to still use that against her because of where she is and restroom issues and things like that, that's what I'm saying. That elephant right there that doesn't need to be
I
there.
feel like it's not an issue until it becomes an issue.
But
Um,
when, but why should it become an issue? That's the problem.
that's what I say as well. I mean, if you're conducting yourself, you know, as a professional, I still don't understand, at what point do we need to have these discussions about my team? I just
Because
don't feel like it's a relevant topic for anyone unless it's your partner.
okay, but here's the problem. What happens when they discover on your job that you're trans? And now, because of this bitch over here, who is ultimate Christian, who ain't never had a problem with you going into women's restroom before because she didn't know. Now she knows, and suddenly her Christian senses have flared up, and now suddenly she's uncomfortable at the fact that you're using the women's restroom, even though you've been there doing it since you worked there.
Which does happen, actually. That does happen.
That happened to me. That's why I haven't been back to to work. It wasn't no Christian bitch, but it was a bitch out of nowhere that decided she didn't want me using the restroom, and then suddenly I had to leave the job.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a challenge just having to navigate just existing in a workspace. I mean, that's always an issue, but
So would you rather? No, let's say for instance you're not in the because again this is about passable and ugly or pretty and clocky. If you are someone who is in a certain line of business, a professional line of business, and you know that you deal with some misogynistic, some ignorant, some transphobic and homophobic motherfuckers in these top big wigs, and you're dealing with them, but this is something that you're good at, a job that you can really kick ass at and make some money because you're smart and you're degreed in this area. Would you rather walk into that setting beautiful yet clocky, or average as hell and passable? Because in this situation, your beauty ain't got nothing to do with the job you came to do.
absolutely.
But passability can affect whether these men will let you do it effectively.
Yeah, beauty and clock is pretty much where I feel like I was at when I was in the workforce, because I was very much when I first started the workforce, girl, trying to figure it out, trying to figure out fashions and what works and how to tuck and how to hold the tuck
Mm-hmm.
all day and all this mess. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I feel like I was trying to make sure I was like hyper feminine, so I was getting fully beat and doing the whole thing, and it was still a clock box at the end of the day, you know. And I remember, I had some bathroom issues myself. So I mean, that became a thing. But at the end of the day, it became for me in my case, it was about the work, making sure you got the work done. So they really didn't care how I looked as long as I got the work done. Now I remember there were some bathroom conversations, there were, but I don't. For me in my circumstance, I remember it didn't go very far. Like it's like I wasn't doing anything. So what are we talking about?
Yeah,
But
I
I feel
wasn't
like it
doing
just
nothing
depends.
either.
It's a case by case basis. Like when it comes to being trans, it's not a cookie cutter experience. Some girls can make it, even though they may be a little clocky. And the thing about being clocky, one thing I've noticed, I don't know if y'all have noticed it, but like every girl has something, whether it's their height or their shoe size or maybe their voice. It may be something that's like, and that ultimately is going to come out with every girl. So that's why I don't ever put that, oh,
Here's the
or
thing
bitch.
about being passable.
We all have something
We
that
all have
it's gonna come
something,
out.
but the overwhelming majority of females have something clocky about them too, which is why even passability ain't being perfectly passable because there are a lot of females who aren't perfectly passable.
That's true.
It's about having as few of those tails as possible, as having few of you know what I'm saying? You might have a deep voice, but you can get by with that if everything else is on point. You might have big hands or big feet, but you probably get by with that because there's probably some other tall fish somewhere in the office too. So that, you know what I'm saying, big fish happens, especially in Texas. So it, you know what I'm saying, that's not going to throw people off to it. It's the combination of too many things that will tell on you. You see what
I
I'm
just think
saying?
where we are in this day and age, that those conversations are long and gone. Like we're talking about, what we're talking about is us in the workforce early 2000s, which was really really rough. I haven't really, I mean, and I'm still in the workforce. Like I still have to deal with clients at the, even at the spa. Like I've had issues with clients at the spa. I have, uh, and
And
they
that's
don't care
your
how
own
professional I
business.
am. They don't want a trans person touching their child or touching them,
And
right?
that's your own business. That's what I'm saying. You having that's the issue on your own business. Imagine going into somebody else's business and trying to work for them under their guidelines, and then some goofy shit like that happen. And the fact of the matter is, it's we no we were getting to a point where that kind of stuff was being recognized and being eradicated and worked on and passing laws. But you again, people forget that this administration has changed everything and has revoked all of that. Now people can
Pocahontas.
openly discriminate against us.
I just thought about it. I really don't know much about your resume before you worked with AP. Have you ever had any issues with like have you ever worked with like a quote unquote straight situation?
Yeah, you know, I was the manager at Domino's when you met me.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Remember, I was
Okay,
the general
okay.
manager. I worked at Domino's. I had moved up to Hilton Awards. I worked at Hilton corporate office.
Okay, and were you had you transitioned or
Uh-huh.
okay, okay. And
I,
how did
I
they
actually I actually transitioned. Well, I had already transitioned, but I had fully transitioned while I was working for Hilton's reservation center.
okay, and how did you navigate that? How did that go?
I just did it.
I'm asking about particularly in terms of interacting with people because I know that how tall are you? About 5'9", 5'10", 5'11"?
Uh, I'm just 5'11".
Right, right. So, being a taller girl, a lot of times
Actually, I'm 6'1", being honest.
just being a tall woman, they'll question you, right? So
Yeah,
I know your personality. Like a lot of times, personality, like for me and you, it'll
but
carry you through. But did you have any issues with people at any point?
I didn't really no, I didn't really have any issues with anyone at the job.
Well, that goes to say, I think, and that goes to show. I think when you carry yourself, conduct yourself in a certain way, a lot of those things just they kind of go out by the wayside.
Mhm.
So I think maybe
I
there's
think that
that
just
as a
depends
factor.
on the job because again, one of the most professional people I know, or tries to be anyway, is Miss Shannon. She tries to be as professional. You know, she's going and getting her suits and her business suits and pantsuits and things, and she goes in there professionally. She gets to her job and does her job. So it doesn't. It depends on the kind of job that you're. If you're in the professional realm, when I say professional, I'm talking about these buildings downtown, these law offices and these firms and all this whole kind of shit going on down there, which I
You
think is
know,
very
most of the time those buildings are suites, right?
well. I mean, but the offices that work in them, that rent out some of them suites, those are
Yeah, I said Hilton Reservation Center, but then I also said Hilton Corporate Office.
yeah.
That's
But
Okay,
what
that's
so
I'm
very
saying is,
different. So
what
where
I'm
we it ain't no tennis shoes or nothing like that walking up in there.
we talking
no,
about
I
those
mean,
we talking about loafers and dress mules and biscuit
I'm not talking
toes.
about dress professional dress. I'm talking about the bracket of job that you have and what tier you're on and in what buildings you are in. Yeah,
Yeah,
because even at Metro One, we couldn't wear tennis shoes up in there, and that was a call center. Metro One, we had to dress what was it called? Business. It was business casual. We couldn't wear no tennis shoes and no nothing like that. So, I mean, everybody got a dress code. All I'm saying is, in certain levels of bracket, for instance, as a there are lots of nurses, but well, no, let me take that back because those are people who can actually, with degrees, make their own offices. People like stock investments, insurance companies, uh, stuff like that. Just places where you go where in these buildings where there is a large culture of business in a lot of these business places, and you have to go in there, and you can get by as a clocky girl. Because again, passability to me ain't necessarily just a combination of your looks. It's everything about you, how you conduct yourself, how you go in there, how you speak to people. All that can be passable. You might be ugly as hell and still talk to people and they think you're just an ugly woman. So to me, passability is how you is the entire package of it. And if when you walk in a building in this professional setting and nobody can get it, regardless of how you look, that's passability to me. And I don't think you have to be pretty to be that. I don't think you necessarily have to look totally like a woman to be passable. I think you just have to have, I think everything about you has to be honed in as and feminine presenting.
I feel like I think it's more of an energy
I was just about to
than
say that.
an aesthetic. It's like how we conduct ourselves.
I don't think it has nothing to do with passability. I think because we are trans, there are certain codes we live by. There's certain ways we move within society. Because society has not fully accepted us, and not that we need them to accept us, but we living in a binary world. In certain ways, we have to maneuver, do things, and I think whether you are passable or not, it's this level of respect you have to have for others and yourself, and that determines what your experience is going to be in any space that you're in. Did y'all hear that?
One more time.
I said I don't think it has nothing to do with being passable or not. I say it's a certain code us as trans people have to live by, and it's a certain way that we have to not only respect ourselves but respect others. That we should certain that should determine a certain way we move. And once that's developed and you learn how to navigate through any space, your experiences be different.
We feel like we don't have to respect others in our decisions.
Right.
We feel like we are the martyrs. We should be respected. We're getting our rights. We're the marginalized, so we shouldn't have to respect others. Now people should have to respect us, and that's the problem. We still, like you said, live in a binary world, so there are still things we are going to have to comply with in order
Hmm.
to get where we're trying to go. Or if we're trying to elevate and we're trying to get into certain spaces, we've got to comply and do some things. Just like I was saying, I know it came off weird, but when we went to Austin, I was saying, dress where you was dress for where you're going. Dress for, what I'm saying. You wouldn't wear your titties and your ass hanging out in court, so don't do it at the
At the
government building.
Capitol. If everybody else walk around in suit, this is their attire.
Right,
It's
let's
not a
go in here
time for you to
professional
show
looking. Let's
your
go in
ass.
here looking like we finna talk to some senators. Let's go in here looking like we finna talk to, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to coming out here looking like a gay parade. And that's
Right.
It definitely makes a difference. I think I mean, our visual definitely does. For me, definitely. I noticed the thing about this blonde hair. Something about I feel like it's something about when I have blonde hair on, I get less respect than when I have dark hair on. I don't know what it is. Like people feel like, oh, she's a blonde, I can play with her. Oh,
but
she's a blonde, I don't have to
well,
give her
that's
this
that
level of
that
respect.
could be a race thing too, because a lot of white folks see blonde hair on black people and they instantly think ghetto. They instantly think, you know what I'm saying? They have all these stereotypes about, women who wear blonde, black women who wear colored hair and do all that kind of stuff.
People are very aesthetic matters, especially as a trans person. Like your aesthetic is everything. That's what people like. They lean. As a matter of fact, I think that I think that us as trans people, I think we're held to a higher standard. I think that they expect us to get up and kind of put it on every day and make sure that like we bring in a full look. Because if you coming out with your stubble and you're not really like showing that you're a trans woman, not really trying to put forth any effort, what are they gonna respect you for? If you they feel like you don't respect yourself. So that's why I noticed for me, when I dress like Anna Wintour and put that Anna Wintour hair on and I walk around, people, it's different than when I wear my little Kim hair. It's just
Yeah.
different. People are into the aesthetic. So yeah, you have to. It's just like a game. You have to play into the game.
We live in
It's
a
not always
visual
about what you
world.
want. You have to do what's going to work for the
We
audience that you. It's like performing.
we
Perform.
live in a visual world where people see before they do anything else. Unless they blind, they see you before they, you know what I'm saying? They see you before they can hear you or smell you, and they see you. We live in a visual world, and that's what and our all of our conceptions from the time this country was founded has been based on how people look.
And I hate
And
to admit it, I think we all subconsciously probably have like opinions, preconceived opinions. Like, you see somebody walking out, oh, that's a Mexican. I was looking at that Mexican, or in the back of your mind,
we do
oh,
that.
yeah, we automatically categorize, oh, that's a bad bitch. Ah, look at this.
We
This
do
hoe.
that.
She's a bum. She's a bum. Like we can't, like, we have to have a category for everything. Like, oh, look at Trey. Oh, this is he looked ran through. Like, there's a category for everything. And I mean, I think we all do it, whether we like it or not. So I think the best thing would be is to understand that that's the reality and live in that, and
That's
understand
a,
what comes with it. So, like, if I have
that's
on, if I'm wearing short shorts, if I wear short shorts with a little cut off top, I get treated accordingly. It just that just comes with the territory. So yeah, it's like a game. You just got to play into it. You can't always dress for what you want all the time if you're trying to get a certain, if you're trying to achieve get a certain type of result out of a
Mhm,
certain situation. So
mhm.
we just have to be smart about what we do in general, and I'll say be conscious of it. Not to say that we should live for what other people think, but at the same time, just be aware. In certain
realize we
certain
move into
certain
a world
situations.
where certain things were set up for reasons, and it's certain codes and it's certain expectations as citizens in this world. And I think why we are as trans people, because we was becoming too free and starting to feel like we was exempt from certain shit. We could
And
do what we want.
that's what it was. That's
You
what it was.
got you got people thinking it's okay to walk through Walmart with t-shirts on and no panties on. Just plain t-shirts and fishnets and stuff. So where you do everything, and it's you should be able to you should be free to wear and do whatever you want to do. But I mean that's not how the world works. No matter who you are or what you do, you are always gonna have to follow somebody's rules.
Because, baby, let me tell you who gets away with murder. Cis fish. Oh, I'm sorry, cis females. Baby, they put on the nude bodysuits, walking around full. You can see everything. Look like they might as well be naked,
The
walking
T
through the
is
Walmart, walking right through the
they
Walmart.
But it
get
also depends on
the T
where they
is
is.
they get the same scrutiny. They get the same scrutiny that a trans woman do
I don't
doing
think
that.
so. I don't
I've
think so.
seen it. No, I have seen it. Trust me. I've been with my mama and my aunt, and we walking through the Kroger. We was walking through Kroger. Tom found one of them, and fish came in there like that. And the way my mama, and white fish that was on the other aisle had looked at this thing coming through there, and she was fishing. She was cute fish too, but she was naked. And the way, and my mama was disgusted. She just kept saying, "I these children nowadays, yeah." And she just kept on doing, but they get that same kind of scrutiny because again, naked is naked, regardless whether you a tranny or a woman. If you naked, you're still doing that in front of people's children, and that's disgusting.
Well, I don't know. I see it. I mean, you see it more and more. I just feel like, us knowing how hard we're trying to get, where we're coming from, what we're trying to do, we should be a little more conscious of, okay, damn, I need to kind of like class it up a little bit if I want these people to, respect me. But I don't know. I see women all the time at the Starbucks, these white ladies with these yoga pants. They walking around all the time, like, oh my gosh, and the white girls with the t-shirt where it just look like they're wearing a t-shirt and that's it. You seen
But
that?
there's a different. You see, they just did a video. These black girls were kicked out of this. Were told they couldn't enter this club because of the way they were dressed. Mind you, they all had on some cute little short little dresses. They had the halter dresses, the cute little, but they were all cute. And it didn't look like they was hoeing. It looked like they were out there just going to the club. They were told they couldn't come in there. Now, mind you, they were all thick.
Mm, body type
She got it on
matters.
video. She watches 4 or 5 white girls walk out the club, all wearing the same goddamn thing they wearing, but they got flat asses, and so it don't look as voluptuous and crazy on them.
Yeah, body type does make a difference. I mean, it does. You know, I mean, I think we're in that world of like post Lizzo, um, body. What is it called? Body. What is it called? Body confidence. What's it called?
Hmm.
Where where you have where you. There's a term for it. Where you're proud of your body.
Body positivity.
Body positive world that we live in right now. And so you really can't say anything because the fact is, I mean, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So, one person may say yuck, but somebody might say yum. And I think it's a really beautiful place that we can feel encouraged and we can go out and, a girl can be, quote unquote overweight and have her belly out.
But
You know,
here's
Hmm.
and I
I
think
think it's
that's
actually I think it's
beautiful.
a beautiful thing.
But I think again there's a time and a place. And when I say a time and a place, the grocery store where mamas who at home all day with the kids bring their kids to the grocery store and go shopping. Here you are, titties hanging out in front of people's children. And so again, there's a time and place. If you're doing this on the beach where there are a bunch of at a beach party where there are a bunch of adults and it's a bunch of what I'm saying, cool. If you're doing this out at the club where ain't nothing but adults,
But what if you at a
cool.
Walmart coming from a beach?
See,
I
they don't
mean,
know your
if you
life.
if you're at a Walmart coming from a beach, there's a way to do that too. Women put on shirts on top all the time over their bikinis.
I
Come on
think
and see
people
the top.
people spend a lot of time judging everybody for what they looking at. Because what if I don't want you to come in? I don't want you wearing a red shirt in front of
It
my
ain't about
kids.
me. It's
No,
about
I ain't talking about you, but I'm just saying that's how
no. I'm
people
saying
judge.
it ain't about the person. It's about their children. It ain't about me. For instance, if I have got my nephews with me and a naked bitch run through there, I'm gonna be disgusted. Why are
But
you
we
naked?
but we just talked about somebody being put outside of a club. A lot of times it don't even be the person or the kids, and it's just easier to say kids this because people be, oh no, it's not good for kids. But a lot of times it because you might feel good and you might look good and you might be curvy like another person is. A lot of people do judgment just because of their own insecurities.
Now I agree with that. I agree with that. I don't think I don't judge nobody for what they wear. I
Mhm.
judge people for where they wear it. You can wear whatever the fuck you want to wear. If you bad, even if you ain't bad, if you got enough courage to wear that shit and you ain't bad,
Or if you just feel comfortable
kudos to
wearing it.
you. Kudos to you. But it's a matter of where you wear it. If you wearing naked shit all out in public, where not out in public, out in places where you know that there are children, babies, toddlers, teenagers, and all that kind of thing running around, then that is to me inappropriate. That is too
I feel
suggestive.
like you talking about me because bitch, I be so inappropriate. No shade.
Well, I mean, if you do that in front of children, you are inappropriate, bitch.
So,
But no, this is the argument that they have used against us, especially when it comes to gay pride parades. Because in New York and in certain places, gay pride parades be happening, and people, dumbasses, will bring their children to that shit, knowing that motherfuckers is walking down the middle of the street naked and big dicks and things and hanging out, and then hard. They know this, but
I
they got.
never
Right.
understood why they brought the kids
I never understood that either. But
to the
now
parade,
they
not
try
the
to.
parade, the Halloween block party. I never understood why the kids come there.
I've
Okay.
never understood why you brought children there,
Well,
and
luckily we have somebody that got kids that we can ask. How do you deal with it? Because I know you got the kids. I want to know. Do you play? Because I had Yolanda in the car the other day, and I was like, do I play? Do I play rap music? Is it okay? Like, I don't know. How do you deal with it with the children? Do you bring them, or would you bring them to the club? And is that a learning opportunity, or would you want to shelter them from that? Poker, Pocahontas. Okay. Well, I feel like, I mean, well, I guess she'll come back when she comes. Are any of us there? Are we all there?
yeah,
You're
yeah.
there. Chloe's
Yeah,
there.
she cooking. She cooking. I think.
Okay. Well, I just feel like, it's kind of like an opportunity to teach your children, when they see somebody dressed like that, inevitably they're going to encounter it and run into it at some point. So the kids are looking at you like, how do I react? Is it okay, mom? Is it okay? And I think that's his place for the mom to say, well, that was a choice, and she has the right to make that choice. Although, things can come, judgment can come with it. So I feel like that's an opportunity to teach the children. But a lot of people want to shelter their kids. like they never gonna see a tranny or they never gonna see
Well, I mean,
any of this.
people don't
Oh, they don't have
necessarily want
YouTube.
people don't want to necessarily talk to their 6 and 7 year
Ask her
olds
now.
about
Okay.
titties and
I'm sorry.
stuff.
Okay, what's going on?
I said,
Go ahead.
ask her now. Ask Poker now the
Okay,
question you
Poca,
had.
you're back. Did you catch any of that at all?
I didn't hear what you say.
Okay, so we came up, we were talking about the subject of just when the children are involved, when the children see people dressed like that, that's a lot of times when it's a problem. Because, us as adults, we can kind of handle it and process it. But when the children come around, and I said, well, how do you, because I know you're raising those children, and even me, I didn't know, is it okay to put on like, like certain music in the car? Which, when I had Yolanda the other day, I didn't know if it was okay to like play a little rap music with her. How do you use that? Do you use that as a learning opportunity, or how do you address it?
I mean, it depends on the situation. It could be both really.
So
A
you
learning
see, so
opportunity. But
so
then
you see
also
somebody.
you also want to make sure that you allow them the freedom to be and find their own character as well too. And then we can, as parents, we can't be blinded to TV shows and music and stuff. Because in school, like Maya was just asking me yesterday. She asked him. She said, "Parker, you'll be surprised some of the stuff you moved us from out here." She said, "But some of the stuff they do out here, we never did out here." She said, "A lot of these people out here, do you know even know what antifreeze is?"
Well,
A lot
y'all
of the
watch.
kids out
Oh,
here are doing antifreeze in school and stuff. So they learn.
they heard that.
It's
I heard that on my Facebook that children were doing something with antifreeze, and I thought, are you kidding me? That's in your children's school.
no, it's all the different schools. Majority
Oh
like
my
the white
goodness.
schools and stuff, because in the black schools they do the weed and the powder and the
Yeah.
exos and stuff like that. But all these things kids gonna have, and then I don't care how protective and where you move them to, kids are gonna experience things that you can't protect them from when they're away from you. You ain't always gonna be able to protect you. You just kind of guide them in the right direction and just let them. You make learn how to make decisions, and when they do make bad decisions, you just correct them. And that's what I do, and I show them the consequences, like why I teach Omar not to wear a hoodie. It's not because I think black kids are here. This is why you don't wear a hoodie, because when you wear it in these type of neighborhoods, you judged a certain way. It ain't got
Mm.
nothing to do with you or what your intent is. It's the way they look at you because of their
It's the
own
way they look
fear.
at you. Yeah.
So let's just say one of your trans daughters came over and she was untucked or she was wearing some tights, walking around. How would you? I'm sure, or like, how would you address that? Like, how do you use that as a teaching opportunity with the children, or do you shelter them from that?
First of all, my kids ain't got no business look between nobody's legs anyway.
I understand that, but we're talking about inappropriate situations, inappropriate dress, and when your children are involved.
Yeah, but then I don't like my kids. I'm old school kind of. I don't like my kids. My kids ain't got no business. And if you ever pay attention when y'all are around, I make my kids move around.
Yeah. Okay.
Have you ever paid attention when y'all come around? They speak and hug and everything. Then it's get on up out of our faces.
Polka, you're at Walmart and this hoochie walks by and with the whole hookup on. Do you address it or do you just act like it's not happening?
It's nothing to address, really.
Yeah, that's just her preference of what she want to wear.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what the whole conversation. I thought the whole conversation was this about the
No,
judgment that
we had
comes with
started.
your dress
No,
code.
where I was going with that when I mentioned that people were bringing their children to gay parades and children were seeing dinglings walking down the street and titties hanging out walking down the street, and then the right took. I'm telling you, the arguments that were collected on the right about us and why it started happening. They were using this. Now, this wasn't gay people doing this in front of children. This was parents bringing their children to this gay event where they saw this shit. And so,
Yeah, but you got to realize we in the streets. We in a public a city. We can't control who comes to that space as bad as we want
right,
to.
no, exactly. We can't control that. So, but we still got blamed for it. It was still oh, y'all be naked in front of the children, y'all trying to sexualize the children. And then it became a thing where
I really want to speak
people
to
were
people.
bringing their children to see drag shows. And, sometimes drag shows, the girls don't be naked, but they do sometimes do some fly stuff with their titties and sometimes do, little pasties sometimes. So, they'll do exotic things, but it's all in the name of drag, of course. It's a show. But that turned into drag shows sexualize children. This we're sexualizing children, sexualized children. And so that's where my attitude comes from, that it's okay to be addressed however the fuck you want to. But, and this goes for straight and gay folk and LGBT folk and trans folk. But as long as children are involved, because don't nobody want to explain to their 6 and 7 year old child why this person is walking around with their dangling and titties hanging out, or why
Mhm.
this person with their, you know what I'm saying, or why are we watching this person with their titties bobbing around now? Is this a strip show? What is this? And we had a drag show. But people shouldn't be bringing their children no shit like that, no way. But
Yeah.
this is why it has turned on us. They try to make it seem like we're doing this to them, and they're actually doing it to us. And that's why all this violence is coming about, which is what we're supposed to be talking about, violence.
Well, I
That's
feel
why
like bringing kids to a parade is actually, isn't that what we want? We want the children to.
no, because they're not at a gay parade, because a
A
gay
gay
pride
pride
parade turns
parade,
into something else. Gay pride parades turn into something else. It turns into adult stuff.
it
And,
does.
and children don't need to be out there while adult stuff is happening.
It can. I just
It
feel like it's a
usually
learning
does.
opportunity. I think it's an opportunity to, like, it's like the old thing of, do you want your kids to drink with you, or do you drink with strangers, like their first drink? Like, what do you
There's
want?
ways to teach children about gay community without taking them to a X-rated gay parade. You can teach them about gay history. You can teach them about, there are places where you can actually go to find gay history, and teach them about Stonewall and why things have happened, and teach them about this. There are things you can educate your children on. You don't have to expose them to the sexual side of it all at once. When you're taking them to a gay parade, that's what you're doing. You got people walking around, even when people, even at the tamest gay parade, you still got bitches walking around in pasties and thong. So,
Yeah, but if you go to the Mardi Gras, it's the same thing. So why do we
but why
just
are they
because it's
taking?
gay?
Why would anybody take their children to Mardi Gras?
But people do.
It's tradition, and it's a
And
part of
I've
life.
seen it, and I'd be just as baffled. I went, me, my mama, and my aunt, and my sister, and a couple other folks went down to Mardi Gras. Had a hotel room right there on what's face. This was a couple of years after the flood. We had a hotel room. We left on the cruise out of that. No, no, we didn't leave out on the cruise. Those
I don't want
we
to introduce my kids to nothing too soon, but I mean, let's not act like
I get that it
kids
happened.
are not
I'm just
gonna
saying
have.
it's not something that should be happening.
Um,
Yeah, they gotta learn sometime. At some point, the thing is, like, wouldn't you want to be a part of that process of them? Okay,
But here,
the
but
first
here's
trans
the
woman in a
thing though.
bikini.
Can we have it both ways? We talk about how, I was just getting into it this other day because we were arguing about what pedophilia is and how they're lowering the age of consent and doing all this, and how 14-year-old girls in certain states can now be married off and all this kind of shit. Do we want our children exposed sexually that early, or do we want them to know at 6 and 7 so they could be ready to go fuck a 34-year-old by the time they're 13? No, I don't. We can't have it both ways. Because when we expose it to them that damn early, these are 6, 7, 8 years old, 10 years old, running around looking at titties and dinglings.
no,
That's
when
too,
we don't,
that's
when
too
we
young.
do- no, when we don't expose it to them and allow them to see that this is the natural life, they sneaking around looking at dicks and digging. Once they
But
see it naturally, they don't see it with you. They ain't gotta hide it.
but is it? Can you not educate them on these things before you expose them to it? Can,
Absolutely,
can you not give them a period of time of education before we
That's like
actually start
absolutely.
showing them the dicks and
But
dinglings and booties?
but
Can
what
we?
TV shows you got now where they ain't gonna see it anyway? You even got
true.
it
I
on the
mean,
cartoons now, the video game.
On the rap videos.
So we
I
can we
mean,
can we can turn a blind eye to it, or let people know this even like in the midst of like a bad experience, like somebody walking through fishness. I don't know what you call. That is her body. You know what I'm saying? That's her body. That's what she chooses to wear. Now, the learning part is the way she's treated and the way people respond to how she work. But then it don't matter what you wear. If a person is jealous and have insecurities, you can come through. I done seen it happen. My baby, she's growing up really fast. Yolanda, hips, butt, everything is coming in really, really fast. She can wear something that everybody else in the room have on, and they'll look at her like, "Why she got that on?"
Yeah, mom's getting fine, honey.
That's
You know
fine.
that why she got that on, and it's in my job to make her. Oh, go put on your moo cover it up. No, I want you to love the person that you are.
Yeah.
And that's what I type of, and I know that's going different. It's kind of going different for what it is, but it's kind of not. And I think people become so mental about how people show up and how people dress and stuff that they push their own insecurities off on them people. And that's why people suicidal and deal with these abusive relationships and get violence and get into horn and stuff like this and feel like they're not accepted and stuff like that because of other people's insecurities.
I agree with that. But I also agree that sometimes it's not out of insecurity, it's out of preservation. It's out
Necessity.
of it's out of sometimes necessity. Because let's face it, we do have, even and as pretty as her body is and is going to be, and as hot as Lil Mama is going to be, she's still a baby, and there's still grown men. That
And the learning opportunity for that is letting know it's not nothing wrong with you and how you learn it. It's just so that you are protected as a child. And people, because there's people with nasty minds out there, I don't want nobody sexualizing you.
right,
You know, and
right.
just teach them like that. And just because when you do all this, this is what you see. This is what people do, and you got some nasty filter. But the same thing with Maya. Maya is not as curvy as Yolanda. But it's the same thing with her. Like just you just have to be. But in so many ways, nobody is. I don't care what you do, you're not protected because it's just nasty people with nasty fucking minds out there.
You're
Period.
not protected. No, you're not protected no matter what you do. And a pervert is a pervert regardless. However, we all know that certain things are seen as, by certain ridiculous minds, as welcome signals. When they see somebody with their ass hanging out or their tight or their titties bulged out, they instantly think that's a welcome signal. That's them thinking, oh well, she wants it. She must want it. She looks like that. And that's a terrible way to think, but it's amazing how many men in this country actually do believe that.
Chloe.
So
Chloe, are
that's
you
what we're
there?
trying to protect them from. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm here. I'm a little tied up. What's going on?
Oh, I was just asking, what do you think about our aesthetic, and does it play a role in how people perceive us overall, or do they take the time out to get to know us and then that goes by the wayside?
Bitch, to be honest, girl, I don't even know what the fuck you just asked me, ho. I'm a little tied up. If you catch my drift. I can't talk
Yeah.
right now, y'all. I can't talk.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But yeah. Well, that was an hour on that.
All
What
right.
about this topic?
Yeah, the reason why I brought up the red pill is because my answer to the red pill pill thing was the red pill would be great, ultimate beauty and clockiness. I said, but then you're gonna have the main problem that most bad bitches, bad trans women have: niggas who become obsessed and are ashamed of their obsession. So now you got to worry about being killed by a bunch of different motherfuckers because you walking around a bunch of niggas who dick get hard when they look at you, but they religion tells them they shouldn't. So now they hate you because of it.
Hmm.
Yeah, the dudes, I mean, they have issues. We have issues, but they have issues as well. And the thing is, there's no outlet. They don't have a community or a brotherhood in general.
There's a couple of
So
them out there. They just ain't. There's too many
in
motherfuckers
general, the guys
ashamed to
that are
say it
attracted
out
to us,
loud.
they live in secrecy and
Yeah,
they
well,
wrestle with these conversations in their own head.
listen. After becoming, and you can go on Facebook and find them. There are trans attracted men groups. And there are yeah. And so the reason why I know this is because one of the trans advocates that used to do the come to be or was talking about coming to be tech. I don't know if he knew said he had to speak with somebody down here or something. Anyway, he's a trans attractive man advocate. He tries to bring guys who are also attracted. He was married to a trans woman for a number of years, and he was trying to he rallies around, and it's a bunch of niggas in that group and niggas that are out.
Well, I'm not saying that there's not
But
exceptions to the rule, Miko.
but
We're
but
talking
what I'm
about in
saying is,
general.
those groups aren't larger because there's still too many men ashamed of becoming part of those groups because they still think in their mind that something that it's a dirty attraction, but it's something that they really don't want. It's just, it's a filthy attraction, but it's something that they really shouldn't have, and they still stuck on this whole black man thing, and you know what I'm saying? Because black men have this thing about being feminized by the LGBTQ. They think that trans women and gay men are going to be the downfall of the black community because all the gay men are turning gay, like it's our fault. But that's they have this idea in this community, and so anything seen as gay is weakness, anything seen as trans is weakness, and being seen as attracted to them instantly marks you as gay, which is like, and so they have to contend with all that. And so a lot of them don't want to become part of these groups because things, then pictures leak. Somebody has snapped a screenshot of the fact that your name is in this group and leaked it to everybody. He's attracted to trans women. Look, he in this group. They don't, and it's happened before. So, it's a lot of shit that
Well, the
goes on.
reason why shit like that is happening is because y'all won't stand up and say, "Yeah, I'm a man, and I'm attracted to a trans woman." So the
And they
fuck
just
what?
won't do it. They won't say, so who gives a fuck? Yeah, I'm in that group. I like trans women. They won't stay because
So what's the point of being in a fucking group if you're not gonna stand up on it?
that's what I say. The fuck is the point of being in a group? You
Well,
trying to get a lending shoulder to ground or something, my nigga? You in a group that says I love trans women.
I don't know. There may be groups online where they can hide behind a keyboard, but in real life, these dudes are scared. They disassociate themselves with even really being attracted or even being
Yeah,
a
they
part of
do.
the community. They don't see themselves as a part of this movement.
Which
So that's
adds to the chances of violence against us, which is what we're
right. And
talking
so in
about.
their heads, they're having these conversations wrestling with what does this make me? Am I a part of that category of being a lesser man? What does this mean for me? And then they're wrestling with the attraction, the feelings that don't go away. They want to have a one-time fling, but it can't but it doesn't go away. And so yeah, there's sometimes there's issues. There's emotional and mental issues that they don't process well. And sometimes it does turn to violence,
Yeah,
especially when you start involving like drugs. It takes them out of their mind, and so they're not really regulating their feelings or their emotions in the correct way, and they may be a little more reactive. I went through something similar to that this week, which is why, you know what, it started to make me think I don't think I want to see anybody that's like, getting high anymore. I don't feel like this kind of bringing that kind of energy. Like I had people coming over to being around me because they want to get high and everything, but they would bring a certain kind of negative energy. And I don't know. I just feel like I want to be a little bit more guarded with the people that have access to me at this point because I mean, it's a privilege and we have to be careful, like because all it takes is one slip up.
hmm and I would just say I don't think we talk about that side of it a lot because a lot of the times we glamify like being in certain type of fields of work, and we don't really talk about like even with like when it comes to like organization, nonprofit, and stuff like that. We don't really get to talk about like the downside of it. A lot of the times, a lot like even with this stuff that's going on this weekend, I've been watching like a lot of posts and a lot of people sharing and stuff, and it just drives me crazy. It bothers me because all I see is a lot of mental health issues that need to be addressed. Right? I see a crop of resources that's not available to us. I see community healing that needs to be done. I feel like loyalty needs to be retaught. The game needs to be retaught. I just seen so many issues and stuff, and I just had to start watching it because I was driving myself crazy. I didn't know how I wanted to approach it because, and then you have these people that it's just so much going on with this thing that happened. I don't know if y'all heard. But there was a young lady. and another young lady. They got into an altercation, but at the end of it, it ended up one of them ended up shooting the other one, and the other young lady died.
No, I hadn't heard about that. When was this recently?
This was like this was this week. This is this
This
week
was this
or the
week. It
beginning of
was
last week.
it was two trans girls
Oh,
in
you
South
got
LA.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, she's
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
fine.
no, I just wanted to pop in on this topic because uh, this is what I was here for.
Two
Yeah.
trans women that got into it and fought each other.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
they
girl,
don't.
y'all are late.
One girl killed, and this is somebody that's in our circle. This is
Yes,
somebody
so
that's around us.
mind you, I talked to Brady. When Brady was up here that one
No,
day.
we didn't
Okay,
talk to
okay, I'm not
nobody.
gonna say the word. Okay,
No names. Yeah,
okay,
we're not doing that. But these are girls that we don't been around in space with,
yeah.
and it's like you just watching like the community just use it as another opportunity to take down trans women. You know what I'm saying? And when you talk about leaders, everybody, well, where the leaders at when all this is happening and stuff? It's kind of a weird space to be in as someone who speaks for a community. When there's two community members involved, I have one that's dying, a family is missing them, and the one that just did a victim of a crime, and she's dead. And then you have another one that life just done been taken, and now she's about to have to be in jail. There's so many sides and so many ways to look at it. And no point is it okay for you to take someone's life, but what is the real issue?
What happened exactly?
Somebody we know
They got into it.
killed
Okay,
somebody
okay.
we
So
know.
one of the girls, from what I was told, that she had got jumped by a group of younger girls, and they said that both people got shot. From what I was told, but only one ended up dead. Y'all got to
So
get on Facebook.
they were out
Y'all
there
got to do some research.
jumping and doing the most in them
Uh,
streets.
That was on the block.
yeah, they was on Park Row.
And when I say we glamorize the life of being a trans woman, it's a lot of times we don't really talk about like the real shit that happens behind the scenes. You have to think about we are in survival mode so tough that we are on these streets. Every person that car that a girl gets in, it's a chance it could be the last car she ever gets in.
Or the person that she opens the door to.
Mind you,
Right.
mind you, there was also the incident at 7-Eleven where the boy got shot point blank range, right there, like in his chest, which over them hitting his car door or something. Like somebody opening the door
Some
and
bullshit.
yeah, some bullshit. And then his friends, the boy's friends came and shot the boy down.
But that happens
All,
every day, though.
all
That
this
happens
was
every
on
day.
I
People
YouTube,
got
think
these guns
on
in
Facebook. I mean,
Texas. They ain't dealing with their issues correctly. That's life. People just don't know how to respond.
I'm about to say this, and I know people gonna be ill at me for saying it, but right now, if I have never thought our community was full of a community full of cowards, this is definitely showing me that our community is full of cowards. And the reason why I'm saying it is because ain't nobody standing up for nobody. And even if they standing up, they half ass standing up. Then they fighting each other. When the fight is not with each other right now, the fight is for all our fucking existing and where is our place in this world. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And these hoes posting pictures. And what's more disturbing is that I'm seeing trans women talking about why she got her wig on, and gay men saying, oh, they let him go in there with their wig, and just how just to be a part of a community you'll never be fucking a part of. And anytime if you go through something, they're gonna take your ass down too. But just to feel like you accepted, these hoes is siding with them and taking this girl down and again, killing someone is never acceptable, nor is it cool. And in no way I'm on the side of a person who would take somebody's life because no one should have the right to take no one's life. But to watch the community take down the community just to feel accepted and feel like they are a step ahead of the person that looks just like them, it's fucking it's disgusting to me. And it just shows me that the reason why these people are doing this the way they doing is because
Miko, look at the group
we
chat.
Yeah, but you say the reason why they're doing it is what do you think?
It's because we cowards. We
I feel like
scared.
well, we're not in a place where we're fostering community and togetherness. So
It's,
yes, those things are those traditional things that we used to do to establish, like to have a sisterhood. Those aren't. I mean, you have to feed a plant for it to grow,
mm-hmm.
and if it's not getting all the elements, it's not going to be a healthy plant. And that's really what I think that's reflective of what the community is. I mean, we have deteriorated, and you're talking about girls who are doing like living this life moment to moment, and so everything matters, and everything is a little more heightened because you are like everything matters. One guy can make a difference to your eating for the night or having a place to sleep. One person can make a difference. So it's and you're on the streets competing. It's a competition on the street. So it's just like we have to be careful of the environments we subject ourselves to, because it's not to be taken lightly. There's so many targets, and yes, the girls, we're not all friends. A lot of times you see another girl, she's a threat. That's competition. They see it like that.
You see it,
Even though,
Miko?
even though the real competition, there's always going to be competition.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know those ladies.
it's
I,
it's unfortunate. It's
the
just
one that
unfortunate that we let
Mhm.
all these circumstances kind of weigh on us, and we start pinning our energies against each other instead of realizing that the enemy is not one another, and that there's other options as well. We don't necessarily have to turn on each other. You can also walk away when you see escalating. But we're talking about people who haven't really, like, we haven't, if we're not exercising healthy habits, then that's not going to be something you fall back on. If you're
Because
not
we're not
used to,
exercising it. We're not exercising it at all. We're in an era to where now it's the crash out era. Everybody want to be recognizing for being known that bitch that'll crash out. Or known
mm,
that bitch that'll be a baddie. All those
mm,
different things. That's what era we're in. Hey
when you
baby.
say crash out, that means I'm so sorry.
I go the fuck off on your ass and I act the fucking fool.
Okay,
And
that's okay.
I'll do
Act
something
up.
stupid that's gonna put me in jail for the rest of my life and not give a fuck about it.
Gotcha.
Miko, ain't
Yes.
that crazy?
We're just too reactive. We're too
yeah,
reactive.
I don't know that
I
babe.
can't
Those
hear her.
babies.
I can't hear you, Miko.
Y'all can hear me?
Dallas.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I hear everybody. Nico's gone. Okay.
Okay, my bad.
I can't hear
I'm
Miko.
here.
She's gone.
Can you hear me?
Uh, I couldn't hear
Okay,
her.
she'll probably pop back on, but what was she saying?
Ah,
No. What was she saying?
I can't remember it.
Oh, okay. There she
Where'd
go.
she go? Okay, there she go.
Can you hear us
What was y'all
now?
saying?
Can y'all hear me?
Nope, we still can't hear you.
Oh
I was
Lord.
about to say, are you froze?
No,
Okay.
tell her to drop down and come back again.
What are the comments?
I
Uh,
don't know how to go to the
Self
comments.
preservation is so important.
that was like 10 minutes ago. We were just talking about doing what we need to, like, making sure we look out for ourselves and think about these
Hold on,
situations.
let her get it together.
Mm.
Yeah.
Miko,
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
yeah, we can hear you now.
Girl, I'll be so glad when you get up off of this Motorola.
Girl, when you do what? What did you say to me?
Hey,
I'll be so glad when you get rid of this damn Motorola phone.
We go kiss my go to hell. Yeah.
so we were just we're talking about that
But
situation.
Miko, wasn't that crazy what I sent in the group?
Let me look. Let me look real quick.
Yeah, I don't recognize any of them babies.
Oh,
But
okay, yeah, 'cause they babies. You don't pay attention to the youth.
yeah.
So not within our space, just like that. But they done been amongst us.
They look familiar. Yes, that's
Y'all,
funny.
both of y'all done met Rashida because she done came up to y'all at the club and spoke.
Right.
and she's the one who
They
and
kill. They're supposed they
It's in the jail.
supposedly have killed another trans woman.
Rashida.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And a lot of times it don't really be the main subject that you mad about. You mad about the
Damn, I can't hear
principle.
Lachey now.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. But no Chloe, you can't hear.
Chloe on mute.
I can't hear her though.
Can
It's
you hear
So
me
okay.
keep
now?
It's okay.
I
Chloe.
can hear you.
Chloe.
Chloe on mute.
Why is she on mute?
But she working. Why you keep calling Chloe? Talk to us, baby. Just talk to
She keeps
us.
saying she can't hear me. I'm just trying to see if we on the same page.
Oh, she's saying something because I can't hear her.
I
She
was
kept
saying something, bitch. Neither one. I can't hear neither one of y'all.
well, how you know we talking?
She can see your face.
Uh, okay, well, I mean, I was just trying to involve her because she's on the show. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, well, let her involve herself, honey. Just let her run a show. It's cool.
Okay, and she said she couldn't hear me too. But okay, I can't hear any of y'all. They said they can't hear any of us.
Really?
The comments.
Mm-hmm.
How does that
I hear
happen?
you, Miko.
I don't know what's going on with the stream, y'all.
Everybody close out and come up.
Everybody close out.
Poker. Poker. Can you hear me? Poker.
Okay. Where they
You
at?
can you can hear me?
Chloe, I still can't hear you.
Ugh. Um.
Yeah, bear with us just a second. We have a technical difficulty.
Lachey. Can you hear me?
I'm right here.
No, I still can't hear you.
I'm right here. You can't hear?
Oh, this is so stupid.
That's
Miko.
crazy.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you either. It's me. It's me. Okay, let me see what happens if I leave.
Okay.
I wonder if it's gonna stop if I leave. Hold on. Oh, I don't want to leave.
It's still going, so I can't bring you back up, but it's still going.
I didn't know what was gonna happen. Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Okay.
Poker, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
my bad. I didn't know what was gonna happen if I stopped it and I stopped it, but it's still going. Okay, okay, my bad. I'm here now.
Okay.
I think Lachey dropped off.
I think I had kicked y'all because y'all wasn't listening to me.
We couldn't hear you.
I know.
Read some of those comments, what they saying in the comments. We always ignore
Okay, so
listeners.
they saying in the comments, they said, "Good evening, Chloe, ladies. Hey, everyone. Hey, Miko. Exactly. The mannerisms. Female mindset. Don't go into job acting like a gay man. I guess that's what y'all was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's a job, not a ball. You have to think like a woman. Like, let the gay stuff go. You have to choose a side, honestly. Um, laughing my fucking ass off. Exactly, Miko. Oh, hold on, let me get Lachey back up here. Hey, Lachey, can you hear me now?
Hey, boo.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now she can hear me. Okay.
And we're back.
And
Okay.
what's happening?
Somebody said something about laugh out. I was in Walmart earlier. All the women in there were wear bonnets and PJs. That's so disgusting. Laugh out loud.
I mean, it's comfortable. I get it because okay, who gets dressed up to go shopping?
Me.
So yeah, you gonna put on something comfortable. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is like it needs to be some kind of covered up. But I mean, you're right. It's up to you. It's your life. You know, I can't tell you how to live your life, but just be prepared whatever comes with it.
Creative Mistress said, "I need that dress, Miko." Laugh out. It's so cute. Girl, let me see what dress you wearing,
Let me
Miko.
see. Let me see. What
I don't know.
dress?
I don't know what she wearing.
I can't even see it.
Oh, oh, girl, that's her.
Not
That's
yet.
her Sunday's best dress.
Yes, I like that.
Okay.
It's
No,
got
you
that kind
see
of like
it's got a slit all the way up the damn.
Oh,
yeah, look
damn. You
cute.
can't wear that to no church.
I like that pattern though. It's kind
And
of
you
got
been
that
out
like good
there. I
times.
don't think you should wear it to Walmart.
It's
I
got
would
Ah,
that
never
good
wear
times
this to
feel.
Walmart.
Huh?
I would never wear this to Walmart. My tuck is showing.
oh, girl.
Oh my God.
You're so vulgar.
So is that a learning opportunity?
Hey, I,
Hell no, ain't nobody better learn nothing off of me.
I, I was just saying that, like, we should be talking to our children instead of acting like, oh, that the world is the problem. Explain to your children, that, oh, wow, sometimes you got some people who just don't give a damn. And that's not, is that who you want to be? If that's who you want to be, this is what comes with it. Like, I don't know, because they're going to encounter it. So they should just have somebody. I mean, the parent is supposed to be there to guide them through all these difficult issues. That's what their job is. So do the job, parent. Like, you're gonna see all kinds of stuff growing up. Like they're gonna see people giving birth and dying. All that has to be explained. So yeah, it's a part of it. Aesthetic definitely plays a role. I had to learn that for myself the hard way. You know what I'm saying? I had moments where people was like openly laughing at me. I had moments where it was like, what I'm saying, the clothes was like not working for you. Sometimes the clothes will let you know like this ain't for you. You can't wear that. You can't, or you have to work it out. And so it takes time to kind of get your aesthetic together a little bit, I think. But one thing I
I
do
mean,
like about the
but
aesthetic,
that it could be a trans thing, but I think people experience that anytime they do anything outside of the ordinary. And I think what society is trying to make all of us do is wear these different uniforms so that we all look the same.
mm, you probably have a point there. I mean, there has to be a standard somewhat. Um,
Because I can see them laughing at my sister for what?
oh,
Not
this
the
was
body
back
and
in
the
the day.
face.
This was back in the day. Okay, so if I'm gonna take y'all back to like my beginning my transition.
Oh,
Y'all remember the clue?
this when you used to play football.
Whatever, girl. Remember back in the days, like the Clueless days, they had the baby girl shirts where it was like it would
Yeah,
cut off right there at the shoulder,
yeah.
like the little baby girl. Y'all remember that? And they had the
Uh-huh.
short. They had the hip huggers,
No.
that like the low riders where it was like
Yeah, yeah.
it's showing your ass crack. That's
Hmm.
not certain things aren't for like they're not trans friendly gear.
No,
Yeah,
It's
it's
true.
not. It's not Tuck approved.
Right. And
that's
I
true.
learned that some things will work against me. Oh, if I wear like a skirt that's like
You
three
might unplugged
quarters,
it.
some clothes might chop me off and make me look disproportionate. Right. So you just have
Yeah,
to learn like, okay, certain things are and aren't for you with your body type, whatever that
that's
is.
true.
And we all have different situations.
Hmm.
But I mean, I try not to be so critical at the same time. I want to be comfortable. So I love the fact that our aesthetic, the fact that we can have sometimes you want to dress like it's kind of like when you walk a ball category. Today you want to be business casual. Maybe you want to be sporty tomorrow. So you might have different days where or some days you might want to be a little bit on the butch side, say a little bit more like, non-conforming. And you don't want to be so hyper fem or you want to be hyper feminine one day. Like so I really enjoy playing with the aesthetic. I mean, I do it often because I feel like we take aesthetic a little too seriously, just a little bit too much. Like we're
Did
so
you
like
enjoy? Did you enjoy being butt naked on your birthday show?
I wasn't butt naked like I could have been, but
Because I wanted Miss Mama's naked.
she wanted them cheeks out and that tuck and that gaff, which we might get to it when we're done gay. But it was fun. It was so much fun. By the way, yes, thank you everybody that could make it. I know Chloe, you couldn't make it. It's okay. I know you were there with me in
Bitch,
spirit.
I thought you was coming to get. I thought y'all was. I forgot all about it. I thought you was coming to my house to come pick up some stuff, girl. Y'all never came, girl. I was like, girl, wait. And then I was like, bitch, oh, wait. They passed, bitch. And then I slept through. I slept through ballroom night last night, girl. That's how I know I've been tripping.
And you know she
Yeah,
don't miss her ballroom.
yeah. No, you don't. You don't play with me.
Yeah.
Well, it's all
Well,
good, girl. We don't have.
if y'all want to, Sunday night I'm performing in Marty's.
Okay.
If
Oh,
y'all
that's
want to sit by the see show.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Be
We got
fun.
the whole hot girl summer coming up, but yeah. I mean, I love the fact that our aesthetic we can
Girl, that
like.
girl still got the hot girl summer coming up.
Girl, I'm mad that Miss Florida Water had the boys out here ready to twirling pistols and stuff, girl. I said it was her. It had to be her. She was the reason.
Oh,
That the girl it's that real Florida water.
Oh,
Akasha.
Akasha.
Akasha, yeah, she was out here, and mind you, I think they said that the person that shot the boy, he was either with her or he was he like rapped on the set before her.
Yeah, we missed
Mm.
that. Girl, we was too partied out for that one. But it
Yeah,
looked like it was a lit moment.
Yeah,
most
the
I
goal the
definitely.
I
goal was to make it there, but we just did not make it.
Oh, y'all never made it, girl. Where'd y'all end up going?
No, to
We,
Marty's.
oh yeah,
Oh
no, we went
wow,
to Cedar Springs.
We actually had a really good time.
It was
I
great.
had fun.
It
my
was
kid's trying
great.
to get me to go to Cedar Springs tonight.
Hmm.
I had a lot of fun with y'all. I sure did.
Oh,
Joe,
y'all got Miko at the house?
Yeah.
I had a good
What?
time. I had a good time.
And she had a good time. She wasn't walking around with with her resting bitch face on.
I,
She always have
I'm
a
just
good
saying.
time when she go out.
I'm just
I do
like,
always have a good time when I be out.
I'm just like with her.
yeah, no, Mika will
Mhm.
come out for the main events. That's one thing she will do.
I
What we
know.
try to always do birthdays. That's like our big thing. We always make sure we do
Yeah.
birthdays real big. But yeah, yeah. Y'all want to get back to the topic and talk about like a little bit of this violence in the community at all?
Now, let me say this too. One thing that we have done and we have moved into is like you're right, the baddies thing, this the girls and
It's crash out era.
it's no longer we've gone from wanting to be passable and pretty to wanting to be tough and seeing it
I still want to be passable and pretty, bitch. Fuck that tough
and
shit.
seeing it tough. I mean, but that's what this next generation coming up under us, they're kind of looking at because that's what females are doing. They've gone into this little baddies area. So of course you got the trans women that are going into this little baddies area that feel like, I'm that pull up bitch. I pull up and I'm. But the problem with that is it does lead to a bitch protecting herself and blowing your asses away. That happens. You can't run up and pull up on everybody. Everybody's not gonna fight you like that.
But the thing
Okay?
is, you get these guns and stuff trying to protect yourself, but then you get so far in character of being a crash out. Now you done pull the gun, you gotta shoot the motherfucker because you're going to jail for pulling the motherfucker.
Right.
I think it's something about having a gun. It makes you want to use it because it's like it's
It's
just
an
sitting there
adrenaline
waiting.
rush.
It's waiting
Bitch,
for a reason.
I had a gun sitting up on my at the top of my closet for years that I refused to even put the bullet. I only had one bullet, and I refused to put the bullet in that motherfucker. I did not like the gun being in my house. The only reason I was there is because my daddy made sure I had a gun in my house, so I was living by myself. I hated that damn gun. I
Well,
don't like being around guns. Guns.
you're mentally stable enough to know that this is a dangerous thing. I think I think we're talking about people that carry it.
I'm
But
scared of guns. I had a gun. I had a gun for like 4 or 5 years, and I never even shot it. I let my little
but did
piece
you
of
carry it daily?
no, well, like around my house and stuff. Yeah, I let my little piece of tray shoot it to make sure it worked one time, but that was it.
I'm talking about
Bitch,
people that carry it. I
I'll
know
be
this because
waiting on a motherfucking opportunity to shoot my shit.
Yeah.
I
that's
get
what I'm
so
saying.
excited about having my girl
But
say,
people that carry
you
their
see how I
gun,
am?
people that carry their gun on a daily around, just they waiting for something to pop out. Yes, and
I
so they
believe
looking
that.
for a reason, and sometimes it don't take much.
You ain't never heard the saying you gotta stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready?
Yeah, that's
But
the
what
saying.
does getting ready actually mean? Because here's the thing: if you are somebody who has carved out at least enough of a life that you have some things that are worth protecting and having. For instance,
Mhm.
if you got your nice place, you paid you off a nice car, you may have a puppy or may have some animals you taking care of.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? You've set up a life for yourself that you love.
It'll
And you
make you
got this
look at things completely different.
and
I'm
you
a
got
living
this gun.
example.
And now this bitch is popping off and yeah, y'all done fought. But now when you kill her, everything that you had goes away. Because you're not gonna just, unless you're a rich bitch and can afford a really good lawyer, you're not gonna just get away with killing somebody and injuring somebody. They're not gonna let you just get away with that.
Yeah, so
So
you don't messed up two lives.
the life that you didn't set up for yourself is now gone. And if you get out anytime soon, you got to start all that all over again.
Well, at the moment, we don't think about things like that.
I was about to
When we're
say because
crashing out, we're
let's be
crashing out. We're just gonna
realistic.
crash out for the moment.
Yeah, and then let's not think about we're not taught how to handle things like this. In this age right now, it's taught how to crash the fuck out. I gotta prove this bitch got me fucked up. I don't want to look like a punk.
Right. And I,
So and if I pull it, I gotta go all the way through with it because now I'm like a punk, not realizing that a punk sometimes could be looking like a punk sometimes could be the best thing, not for just you, but everybody around you.
Mind you, in this situation, one of the parties was 21 years old and the other one is 31.
Mm.
It ain't no telling. It's no telling who reacted to it. Like, was it the crowd that hyped it up? What made it escalate to that point?
but that's
Survival.
but
A lot of
that's
We
times
not
on the
people be
we on the blade.
a
This
lot
is
of times
this is
people be doing things for show.
we
they y'all
we
got
on
to they got to let go of that pride shit, like Pocahontas said, trying to not
Mm.
look like a punk. The fact of the matter is, what did T.S. Madison teach all of us? Don't go out there fighting this punk. That's what you want. Put the police in her
Mhm.
life. And that's why that child is in jail now. Because and then people like, well, you talked all that shit, Madison. Now you got to call the police. Yes, call the police because I have things to lose. I'm a millionaire, bitch. I have a nice house. I have a career. I have things to lose. I'm not like one of these common motherfuckers that's out here just fighting because they want to prove themselves. I don't have to do that. And
But y'all,
everybody don't have to do that, bitch. If you have something to lose, then you don't need to be pulling out no gun and aiming at nobody unless you are in desperate need and think you are about to die. You didn't think you was about to
but
die.
then,
You just
but
wanted
then
to show.
also when you get out there popping that shit, realize sometimes you have to stop and think about. Yeah, I'm ready to jump off and do all this, but the next bitch might not have a thing to lose and might be tired of living any motherfucking way.
well in this scenario, like I said, they said that the younger crowd was jumping the older girl, and they said that you know that the older girl also got shot as well. So bullets was coming from both directions, is what they're saying. Uh, it's just
I
one
was
person.
shot too, then she might have some leeway.
Yeah, and she got jumped. She got jumped and she got shot.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
it kind of is. I know somebody that said that they read the actual police affidavit. You know her. You know who
If
I'm
they
talking
want
about.
to be fighting and shooting guns, just go and go to the army, baby. Go and go to
Right.
the army. Let's fight for the country. Fight for
That's
the
what
Right.
I
bitches that want to shoot and shit no more.
Bitch,
join the police
not
if you
fighting
got
over a
Life
something
parking
is
to
spot on Park
already too
Road.
hard. Life is already too hard out here, and we fighting to walk out our motherfucking door.
Now, mind
The
you,
last thing,
back in the day when I used to go to Park Road, it was one instance. It was one instance I can remember where me and Seven were out there, and the girls was popping their tasers or whatever, trying to scare me off the block, and I was like, bitch. And when they walked up on me and realized who I was, they was like, "Oh, that's Amber. That's Amber. She cool. She cool." I was like, "Bitch, what the? Y'all thought y'all was gonna press me
I
up
would have
off a
told them,
block?"
get that hoe, get that hoe. Go fuck who she is, get her.
Bitch, I handled that as
girl.
well.
The
So
girls
I was like,
be
bitch,
out
not
there
y'all host
hmm
thought y'all was gonna press me up off the block, bitch. Wrong, bitch, right there.
hmm
girl.
It
That's how
just
they be
gets scary,
moving.
but from my lens, I'm thinking about lack of resources because how all the girls are out there because jobs is not hiring us, all that different type of stuff. We gotta be having like serious conversations. Why? How do we get here?
No shade to people.
And loyalty in community is not taught no more. Everything in our community pin us against each other.
No shade. The people in the comments was letting them have it though. They was letting the people, the other party, the younger parties, people have it because they was like, what business did that young girl have being out there at 21 years old? Like she had a business being out there. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, y'all got a point. And then it was like, why y'all doing all this talking? Y'all need to be helping that baby's mama with her GoFundMe. I was like, oh, they so wrong.
Nah, that's a real thing. Y'all,
That's
everybody on
real.
this Facebook talking, but we got a baby now that the mama ain't got no. I mean, we don't know if she got an insurance or
No,
what's going
the
on.
mama ain't got no insurance. She's a single mama of four kids, and she was not expecting this loss.
So all these cis people on there talking about a man being taken to jail in a wig and that being acceptable. We need to be talking about why are these cis women in our heterosexual community not putting their kids on life insurance.
Yeah.
So it's still other issues to be looking at. it not running away from like the main course and stuff, but like it's so much shit to talk about when you see this shit and then you really just got a different lens than the people that's on there just want to rah rah and the crunkiness and shit. This was like, damn, we just so lost as a community, but we wondering why we can't stand up and get the right president in and why we got somebody like Trump telling us what the fuck to do. We can't even stick together. We weren't even watching this many people on them comments talking about voting.
Bitch,
You want to know
let me tell
something
you
that's
something.
so. Okay, I'm gonna save this for
You can
after to have a conversation with you because I need to talk to you anyway.
you can set you can set black people against each other on any damn thing. This ain't the only damn thing. That's why you got motherfuckers, black folks now jumping ship, talking about some they Republican and they and famous and celebrities and doing all this all kind of different shit. You can't get us to come together on nothing. We the most fractured group of people in the fucking world. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody is out for themselves. Nobody is out for community. And the overall community has made it much easier for LGBTQ to be that way, for us to start hating on each other, for
Mm-hmm.
disliking each other. None of the letters get along. Now we not
Mm-hmm.
get along within ourselves. Hell, gays wouldn't get along within themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing that's happening. We're all fractured. We're all fractured as hell, and I hate that. And I hate that it's all it's all a clout thing.
A big circle of mental illness.
And yeah, and we're perpetuating it through social media and
Mm-hmm.
and using it for clout. We use our mental illnesses now for clout. This thing that this short temper thing that y'all got want to fight everybody. That was seen as a disorder at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like praised that you start.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing: you when you get praised for that sort of thing, you then start to feel invincible, like you can't be stopped. And then when somebody stops you with a bullet, somehow it's their fault.
So do you look at being trans as the same way? Because there was a disorder, a disease too.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think that being hot tempered was a disorder. I think it's a psychosis. I think it's something that is rooted in something, a behavior
It's
that is caused
a reaction out the
right or a
mm-hmm.
conditioned reaction because of how you were of the environment you were raised in or what you went through as a child, the things that the trauma that you carry. It's a conditioned response, which we know now, you know what I'm saying? But back then, of course, they would call it a disorder because they didn't know much about psychology and psychiatry and all that kind of extra shit.
Mm-hmm.
But the same thing with us, what we've learned is that ours is actually more chemical. You know, science has taught us that it's more chemical than it is a disease. It's a biological chemical reaction from
Ow.
a disease. So,
Ah.
you know, with science comes the breakdown of all that. I think that there are some people why and it's probably not a good thing to say. It's probably not a positive thing to say, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think that trans for some people is a mental issue, is a not a biological thing like many of us have, like you know, born with this kind of imbalance that makes us feel a certain way. Gender dysphoria that leads to gender dysphoria. I don't believe all trans women have that. I believe,
Yeah, because trans looks all different type of ways now. It's a trend. You
yeah,
know,
I think
it's
the
a
trend of it is kind of a psychosis. I do believe there are men out there who are envious of women, not because they want to be women, but because they want to feel as desired. I've heard men say women have it easy because they can have sex whenever they want. Any man will fuck any woman. But men, we have to wait for women to give us the permission, and we have to wait for and
Well,
they have to choose us, and blah blah blah. This and other. And there's a lot of men that say that, especially this new generation of men, which is kind of scary. But
it seems like it's more about equality. I think for them, I think they want to have to
maybe
experience the same things that we do. Like you know. the feelings of, like sexy lingerie, that's not really fair, or high heel boots or high heels that are exclusively for women. Those things, I mean, sometimes why wouldn't a man want to, explore
But those things
explore what
were
it
for
feels
men
like?
at one point. So at one point, high heels were only for men.
Right. So it's just
Culture
like the
changed.
standards
Things
and
changed. That's all that was.
it's not really fair that, men have different
Can you go put
perks
some
and women have
chemistry?
different perks, and I think it's because if
Want
women
some
can
more
do it,
cookies?
then men can do it as well in terms of equality. I think that's kind of what it is for some people as well. Because I have a client who's a cross dresser who doesn't he's not into any we don't have there's no sex involved. He just comes over with his outfits. I'm talking about a suitcase full of outfits, and we go through outfits. And he's not into it about it's not about the sex. It's just about feeling sexy.
Hold
And
up, bitch. That's my client, ho.
that white man with the suitcase, he probably is, girl. I mean, he's nobody owns a client, girl.
No, he coming, but he coming buy my heels for me, girl. I own him.
You talking about that? He's like he's ridiculous looking,
Oh yes, girl.
What?
girl. He's so tall, and he wears like he them boots, Pocahontas, them boots that girl.
Boots.
Comes
He
in those
love him
boots.
some heels.
He likes heels, and he likes thigh
Get
high
off the
boots.
food table.
Yeah, but the point is, like, the fact is, they just want to. It's not about the sexual aspect. It's like about the fashion.
They just want a safe space to be able to be themselves.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
cause the one that come to see me, well, a couple of them that come to see me, I don't be understanding why they be so comfortable with me or asking me to do it, but they be wanting me to put them up in it, and they be wanting to buy my lingerie and buy my stuff, and I be like, girl, why y'all just don't go to the store and buy it yourself, bitch?
the
But they're
safe.
like, they don't want to be seen in the store buying it.
Like Poker said, that safe space. It's like they need that. It's the same thing with with the guys that see us. Like they have no one to talk to. Sometimes they may have one friend, but in general, they're not talking to anybody. And people have to have an outlet. Like you can't just like even if it's just like say you did something really fun, you would come home and tell your friends and tell your people about it. But they wouldn't have an experience with a trans woman, or they can't even talk about it. So it's just like a lot of these bottled up feelings. People need to communicate. Like I think that's the reason why we have a voice, so we can do that. And the fact that we
Hmm.
don't, is a hindrance, and it
And the
causes
way we
issues.
got the way we kind of got away with it, we build community within each other, and it's kind of hard for them to do.
Yes, I would imagine so because of the toxic masculinity.
Hmm.
The idea that that you're into a person that has the same thing as you means that one of y'all is
A
is
freak.
yeah, somebody's doing something. So it just opens the door. But the fact is, people should be allowed to be themselves. I mean, when are we going to get there? Because I feel like we're almost there. People, we let our freak flags fly, but then when it comes down to politics, people all of a sudden get conservative. But you see people all the
Mhm.
time. People, like I remember 20 years ago, people had an issue with if you had colored hair, like purple and all these green hairs, and now it's like nothing. It's like nothing. And I feel like that just is an example of how society has opened up,
Well,
and you
no, but see, they're trying to bring that back.
they are where
Yeah,
there's like silencing
because
people and trying to.
now people who have purple hair are libtards, and that's what they think all liberals are: people with purple hair and nose rings and cry about
Tattoos.
right, and that's what they think.
It seems like society has opened up. I don't know. It's like anything. If you try to bottle it up for too long, it can't just stay bottled up forever. So I don't know how do they think you're going to erase an entire people, especially when trans is something it's like a river that doesn't stop flowing. We're still being born every day, and we're a growing community. So they're going to have to address that at some point. So I mean, I have a lot of faith in just evolution in general. The fact is, we're here and we're going to grow. Our community is going to be. We're going to start being. The issue is that we need to be in every facet. We need to be more in the. These girls need to be encouraged to be politicians from a young age, but at the beginning of their transition, and told that they can be anything. Right.
Hmm.
Um, it's just breaking those
Mhm.
standards and breaking those norms, but I feel like I don't know, this new generation, like, Lamaya's age and the girl, the teenagers now, they have a different view, and it's just nice to see that. Hopefully, they'll run with it.
Do
I,
they
I,
really
I,
have a different view, or do they have cameras that changes everything?
you think the cameras is what it is?
I think it's the cameras, sis.
No, no, they're more open minded. I mean, they
I don't,
understand
I
how
don't, I
that
don't think
life.
they doing anything different than we did. Well, we two different generations, but I don't think that they're doing
Not that far, girl. I'm 4 years older, but yeah, okay. 4 or 5 years older, but I mean,
or 6 or 7. But
okay. Well,
who's
then what
counting?
was you're
But
saying?
I don't think they really doing anything different, but now a lot is getting more recognition because they have these cameras out, and everybody is fighting to get this moment, to capture this moment, so they can be the first to post it, or be I got this tea thing. You know what I'm saying? Because even like around the time you came out, Chloe, we didn't have all these cameras. We wasn't recording every damn thing. You a fight or something that happened. Nobody
But when
know
I
what
came
happens.
out,
We kept it within the house, but because the public, everything is so publicized now. That's the problem.
Okay,
Let me tell you something.
okay.
Social media and these cameras have made it easy for people to find whole communities for their bad behavior. People who think that bad behavior is entertaining or agree with it, and it becomes a thing where now it's a groundswell of this kind of same bad behavior and people who have these same ideas. And social media did that. It expounded on everything. It made everything exponential.
hmm I mean,
That's
it's got its pros and its cons too, because it also created community for people that never thought had opportunities like in these country towns that they never seen a trans person before that look like them and not understanding who they are. So I mean, it has its pros and the cons, but I know it definitely has put everything in everybody's face.
Hmm.
You can't turn a head to the shit that's going on now because you see it just everywhere now. And I don't know, you seeing it, the pastors are seeing it, the kids are seeing it, everybody's seeing it.
yeah.
Probably
I, well, hopefully, with them seeing us, will start internalizing and understanding the human side of who we are. I mean, that's the fact is we're not objects.
not if we
We
on
can
here
see.
acting like animals, trying to get moments
I ain't
and
been
only
playing you
recording
either.
like the things that we feel like is going the people is gonna follow, like the fights and the shooting and all that type of stuff. You'll never get like award ceremonies or either events where you learn and stuff. Those things don't get the same amount of views as the problem and the drama and all the other stuff. None of that shit does.
Hmm. Well, I mean, for many times there has to be a leader or someone to kind of guide us and bring us to that point where
Girl, who wants to entertain a leader at these
I don't
points?
know if we have a leader, but we have to do something. So
Who wants to really be led these days? People want the freedom to be whoever the fuck they want to be, and they want the best thing popping at that moment.
but for every movement that ever took place, there was someone that initiated that or some action that made that happen. So I don't know what would it take for people
Mhm.
to see us as human. It would take a certain person to it would take like one of those RuPaul situations, but as a trans person living in her fullest truth. So
Mhm.
that's what we. I mean, that's what we have to live in hope. And the shows like this, I think, hopefully, would encourage the girls. Or we have to, get out there and encourage one another to maybe take the lead and to get off, to kind of think about other options. Because that's where my mind is at this point. I'm just like,
Mhm.
there's got to be more. There's got to be more. I mean, I've already, I've always kind of been on the fence, kind of trying to ride like, okay, me as a trans person, I see that I'm valuable over here, so I can always access money and access, this river of people that always want to give me money because I'm a trans person. But then also as a professional, I want to be taken seriously, and it's kind of hard to develop the two. So I've had that as a challenge, just being in survival mode and trying to get to, set goals and want to get to a comfortable place financially, that was really challenging. And now it's like I'm at a point where I'm really trying to take my life into a different direction because it isn't really safe. Like honestly, there's all kinds of things that come with it that we don't always talk about. Like being out here trying to make money, getting money from these people. It's not always, you know, just cut and dry like we want it to be. Even though it can be usually, but sometimes it's not. And that's the problem. Like it's not. I mean, that's really anywhere. Like you could get robbed at McDonald's if you work at McDonald's, right? That can happen anywhere. That's life. But it just feels like, hmm, there's always other options. And so I think that we should always remind one another that we have so much talent. There's so many other things we could be doing. Like those two girls that were there 2 o'clock in the morning on that Saturday on the streets arguing with each other. Like that wasn't it. I don't know. I don't know what it's gonna take. But where their mind was, they weren't wrong. They were just trying to figure they were where they were probably both in hustle mode. Who knows if where they were intoxicated or what the situation was, or maybe that one of them, might have been. There are a lot of things come into a lot of things come into play when it comes to like how do we present ourselves in terms of like our health. If your health isn't in a certain place, if you haven't had enough sleep, you might be irritable, or if you might be malnourished, you might snap faster, right? That's that's the reality. So we have to be in a place where we're taking care of ourselves in order to be our best. If you are going to be out there in that situation, we don't know what was going on though. But yeah, it's just challenging. I mean, our lifestyles are challenging just in general. But then again, whose lifestyle isn't,
I
right?
mean, does anybody want to talk about gun control? I
Not
mean,
in
'cause
Texas. Not in
look,
Texas. You're not.
that's what I'm saying. That's the biggest problem. Y'all want everybody to have guns and be surprised when everybody starts shooting each other. That's that's what happens when you give everybody a gun. When you make it easy as fuck for anybody to go get a gun, then motherfuckers, and I'm sure probably now one of them guns that was shot that night were registered. I'm sure.
Yeah,
It
that's
don't take
that's
nothing to get a license. All you gotta do is go get your carry concealed license if you want to carry a gun with
and I think that's also something to be aware of. The fact that we
you.
are in this state, we're in a country
Let me tell you
that
something.
allows
You have a
that.
carry concealed license and somebody done shot you and you shoot and kill them, and you got a license and your gun is registered to you, they
Okay,
instantly
so
put
we
that
in a
on.
crash out society.
They instantly put that on the other person.
We crashing out, but we're not keeping in mind that while you crashing out, somebody could crash out with you.
Right. Everybody crashes out. Shit. And the people are scared now. That's why this crash out shit is dumb. Because y'all are looking for excuses to hurt each other. Y'all are looking for excuses to kill somebody. Y'all are looking for excuses to shoot at somebody. Y'all want to use these guns. That's the problem. That's what this society has created. People who are trigger happy, who barely know how to shoot, who just want to be in something. And the fact of the matter is, she would there would be no questions asked, and she would not even be in jail right now if she had a concealed carry license and that gun was registered to her. Because when you have both of those, they assume, especially if the other person had a gun and was shooting at you, they instantly assume that you were protecting yourself and they let you off.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah,
But when you shooting at folks with illegal guns, then they make you look some kind of way.
the gun issue is something we can't do anything about. We just have to be more conscious about how we move and act. I mean, at the end of
but,
the
that, but,
day,
but but here's
it's
the
psychos
thing:
out
the
there.
gun issue is something we could do something about.
No, it's really not. That is something that's in the Constitution. It's going to be there. The
No,
right to
no, no,
carry
no. You're
arms.
not you're not paying attention to what I'm saying.
No, because they can't carry guns in New York.
Listen, you're not paying attention to what I'm saying. Even in Texas, there's a way to legally protect yourself if you feel like you're gonna pull out a gun and shoot it. All you have to do is have a concealed carry license.
Why are you talking about? I don't understand why you saying that. Like it's gonna make a difference with anything. That girl is not here.
No, I'm saying that the girl who is now being in jail and about to lose her life behind pulling out somebody and shooting, because now we don't know whether, because to me, now it sounds like this could have been self-defense if she was shot too and they were trying to jump out. It sounds like her pulling out this gun and shooting this child was self-defense.
Yeah, but you're
However,
conflating the issue. The conceal and carry issue is not the same as why she
no,
got arrested for murder.
no, but listen, what I'm telling you is it wouldn't be considered murder if in the state of Texas, if somebody shoots at you and you pull out a gun and shoot them back and you have a registered license kind of gun, and I know this because this just happened to one of my homeboys like 5-10 years ago. He has a registered gun and he carries it on him. These other little niggas, I guess they weren't paying attention. These little niggas that stood outside this corner store right here on Forest and Ardelia, they used to stand outside there. They tried to jack him because they saw him get $200 out his ATM. The little boy pulled the gun out and pointed at him, and he pulled his gun out and shot the little boy in the chest. When the police got there, he pulled out his license, told what happened, and they looked at his license and told him, "Okay, you can go."
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. Because
I don't see how that. I don't see how that. I
that
don't
was
see how
considered
that makes any
self-defense,
sense.
and that was considered self-defense, and they always gonna take the word of the person who has a registered legal gun over the person who is carrying something illegal. They will always do that.
I just don't see that that's really what we should be discussing. I mean, that's really not the point.
No, I'm talking about how
Whether her gun
girls
was
can
legal or
protect
not,
themselves and think
whether her gun
smarter
was legal or
before
not
they
is
use such.
irrelevant.
No, it is relevant because we were just talking about how girls can move smarter, how they can use it. Because we talking about bitches who got something to lose. If you got something to lose, protect yourself, bitch. If you're gonna be out here carrying a gun and you're gonna be out here getting into arguments and y'all doing this pull-up shit, at least protect yourself so that if you have to shoot one of these ignorant bitches who wants to play those kinds of games, then you aren't going to spend the rest of your life in jail behind it.
Okay, I guess yeah, have a legal gun, have your gun legally registered.
Yes.
But that
Everybody
just
want
seems
to have
like,
a gun, but nobody wants to go get the license. Nobody wants to. And when you get wrapped up in some shit, that just gets you in more trouble.
well, that's one point. But it's kind of like besides the point. There's a girl
No, it's
that's
not.
not
Because
here.
we can't stop all these bitches from having guns. We're not gonna tell them not to carry guns and protect themselves. To protect themselves, or what do we tell them? Don't use it. Carry it, but don't
Yes,
use it.
yes. Don't use it. Think, think.
Yeah,
You
but
don't.
what
You don't
happens?
have to
What
wait.
happens when you in that situation and a bitch pull out? You got your gun in your purse, but this bitch pulls out her gun and starts firing at you. Are you not gonna fire back, or you just gonna run?
Well, if you didn't have a gun, you might not be in a gunfight.
I mean, but if you don't have a gun and she do, you still gonna end up in a gunfight.
You may not, sister. If you don't have a gun, guess what? You're not the bully anymore. They're the bad guy.
I agree. I don't carry no gun. I don't like having no gun, but I do know that if I get caught in a situation where somebody's pointing a gun at me, I can't fire. I can't do nothing to stop it.
I don't agree. I think when you both have guns, now we're in a shootout and somebody's gonna get killed.
I mean, but would you rather it be you or the other person?
I would rather me not have a gun and you point your shit at me and threaten me and let me walk off. Because you
That probably.
scared me. And that the point, hold on, the point of you having a gun was to scare the shit out of me, not to murder me, right? Like you don't want to be a
Well, not,
murderer, do you?
no, you don't
You
know
really
that,
just
girl.
want to protect yourself and
You know how
scare me
many
and keep me
people
away from
don't
me, right?
mind? Do you know how many people don't mind shooting and killing people?
I just think that we're like when you have a gun safety is shoot at unless you have to.
But that's not how everybody
You don't
thinks,
just pull out a
girl.
gun and blast. And if the
Some
only reason you
people,
have to is if the other person has a gun.
some
Now I
people
gotta
think,
shoot you. Now
some
I
people,
have to shoot you
some
because you
people
got a
think,
gun.
some people think disrespect means I have to shoot you. Different people have different levels of on their threshold, bitch. Just because your threshold is, I should have, it should be a last minute thing. It should be no. Some people's threshold is I got this gun so I can shoot anybody that disrespects me.
But they're more likely to shoot you once they see you pull your gun out.
I mean,
That's
or they're more likely to back off because they realize they fixed to be in a gunfight and they didn't want that. They thought it was just gonna scare somebody.
then there's that. I mean, you like to touche the girls. I feel like you're right about that, though. I mean, it could go either way. Having a gun, I just don't like the idea of it. I feel like a lot of times you can walk away if you're not a threat.
I agree.
Because once you pull out, oh baby, we gunslinging now. It's the wild wild west, and
I
there's no
agree.
question. There at that point, once I see that you got a weapon and I got a weapon, we're not talking no more. And I think that's my point. What happened to? Because back in the day, people could talk about it, or they would just fight and beat each other's ass and walk off with their ass whooped. We need to kind of like take it down a notch. You ain't gotta kill a bitch. She could have beat the shit out that girl, kicked her, stopped her all in the face, and that girl could have crawled away and lived. It's just like we jumping the gun, literally, no pun intended. But yeah, that's just my take. I mean, I have weapons and I don't even like them. Like I don't use them things, and it's like, and really, it's just to scare people. Like
That
I would
yeah.
hate to kill somebody. I would hate to have to
I
pull the
don't know.
trigger.
I couldn't live with myself if I actually did shoot somebody. I don't, and that's what scared me about the gun being in my house because I thought if I ever had to use it, then what would it be like after I used it? Like what it would be like after I actually shot somebody? That would wear me out thinking I didn't hurt. But it depends on the situation. If somebody is actively trying to hurt me, at that point, I don't mind.
Well, yeah, at that point, you're not gonna end me. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. But it's just a rough situation. I mean, we can always coulda, woulda, shoulda, but until you're there in that moment. What was Chloe saying that they were jumping her and she had to pull the gun out?
They said it was the younger girls were kind of jumping her, and that uh she also got shot, which means that they were shooting at her too.
Just it's just not good. It's just
That's what I'm saying.
unfortunate.
It becomes a shootout, bitch. You got to kill a bitch to keep them from shooting at me, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we don't know who shot first. We don't know what actually happened. All we, you know what I'm saying? But in that situation, in a situation where she's surrounded by people who are trying to jump her, who also have a gun somewhere. You know
And
what
I
I'm
can
saying?
understand them fighting, if you're on like, okay, so you've come to the corner, you come out to this strip. This is a decision because this is working out for me, and this is a place where I need to be. And so we're both debating over this place. It's kind of like it's like you have to contend with the situation almost. They felt that, and that's what's so sad that the girl we have to feel like that this is what we have to do. I have to I have to contend with this. It should never come down to that. I just wish that we have other options so that we don't turn on each other.
We live in that. That's genuinely the world we live in, where girls feel like they have to do that sort of thing and feel like they have to. You know what I'm saying?
I remember
Because
back in the day, Miko, me and you used to meet up when I first met you. You remember? Which
long time ago, girl.
I used to meet you out there on the Black Girl. And it was always in passing, like hi bye type shit,
I
right?
was always around the village. It was always coming
Yes.
in from. It was always around in that area where you'd be walking up and down the street, and I'd see you, and I'd see the little Mexican girls. I'd be like, "Hey,
Yeah. And it's crazy too because it's like we never had that. It was always a celebration, like, hey boo, you
yeah."
know.
Well, you know what? I'm very like that when I encounter people that I can tell are just having fun kind of people, just people who are having fun. I can always tell when somebody's out there. I can tell from vibes when people are genuinely having fun, when people are out there scoping out everybody else, trying to look a certain way, trying to be, you know what I'm saying, have a certain kind of air about them. But I can always tell when people are just out having fun.
Do
And
do you
that's
remember
why,
do you remember
huh?
back in the day? What was that bitch's name? She was being in the corner. She used to like, I don't know, I think she was going crazy towards her last days. But she used to talk shit to the girls, be like, bitch, get off my corner. You know what I'm talking about?
Corvette.
Was it Corvette? Was that her name? I think what with the go-go boots?
Uh-huh.
Yes, Miss Corvette used to slay that corner, honey. That girl, you better not mess with her street.
Baby.
But I
Corvette.
mean, and she was like an older girl. She was trying to defend her territory. But I knew to stay away. Like I knew to stay away.
Bitch, one time Corvette saw me downtown. And I was just, and I had heard stories about Corvette and how she do the girls and how she, you know what I'm saying? So I would see her, I'd seen her like sporadically.
Uh-huh.
And, I just kind of kept my distance. This one day, bitch, I was in McDonald's downtown, that McDonald's downtown.
Uh-huh.
I was standing in line, bitch, and I hear her come in. And I'm not paying attention to her. I'm still standing in line. And Miss Thing called me out. She said, "You, Miss Girl." And I turned around and she said, "Yes, you girl. I know
Oh.
you probably scared of me, girl, but I am not who you think I am, girl. I don't know what these girls done told you about." And I'm like, now mind you, I ain't never said that to this girl. I ain't never. I,
She just knew it was reputation.
she just knew, bitch. She said, and I just smiled at her. She was like, I'm really, girl, I'm really not like that. I'm the sweetest thing you ever meet." And then she bought my McDonald's, girl. She was like,
Really?
yes, trying to show me she was cool. And honestly, every day, every time I saw her after that, she was really cool. She would always speak, and it was like friendly. So and I've seen her go off on people, but every time we saw each other, she was really cool. I don't know why she did that to
She would
me.
be like, "Bitch, get off my corner."
I don't know why she did that to me, girl.
And
But
I
she
remember
told me
at the time, I wasn't even working, girl. I was just walking through the parking lot. He was, I was just walking through the parking lot, like, girl, like I'm getting my drink on, like, but she didn't like, and I knew okay to move around, like, because I'm not really a fighter to be honest, but yeah, girl, like I guess if you're a fighter and you used to like bopping and contending with the girls, I could see a girl not backing down.
yeah.
Alexa, stop. Yeah, girl. It's a
She was
mess.
a she was a muscular thing. But even
She
when
was
she
tall.
got
She was and tall, girl.
high,
Yes,
mama was
stout.
a stout bitch. Oh. And then she got them titties, bitch. Oh, bitch.
Them girls. Them. You remember Camille?
I remember Camille.
Miss Camille. She she was another one. she she was kind of like a bully, girl.
She was another one that
I,
made
I live for
herself
her because
known to me. She made herself known to me, girl. I was kicking it with who was I? I was kicking with somebody at the brick.
uh-huh.
And bitch, she just came up and started talking to me. I ain't never met that child. Her and Corvette did me like that. I have no idea why. And I knew that Camille had a reputation for being a bully too, because I don't think she liked no, her and it was she liked Nicole, I think.
Yes. Oh, she did love Nicole. She loved Nicole.
She
She
loved
sure did.
Nicole, I think. And so but she would just come up to me and start talking to me because Nicole didn't always come to the club. She'd like pop up every now and again.
Yeah, yeah, she sure did. Uh-huh.
But she was good, but bitch, Mr. Good. I was like, okay, Miss Camille, and up until I stopped hearing from until she disappeared, honey. Every time I saw her, hey girl.
Those are the days. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how, like we were saying, the time changes so much, and we get caught up in the moment, thinking that this moment really makes or breaks, and we just have to think bigger. That's what I'm saying. I wish those girls had popped off and walked, like before they popped off. I wish they walked off before they popped off.
It's too
Like
much pride. It's too much. One thing we've got to learn is, girl, sometimes pride ain't strength. Showing
it's
your showing your ass ain't the strongest thing to do all the time. Sometimes the strongest thing to do is to shut it down and walk the fuck off so that your life continues the way you want it going, and your things are protected, and you ain't got to start over for killing somebody and going to jail.
I'm telling you, in the back of both of their minds, they were both saying in the back of their minds, they were saying, "I got this heat. I'm gonna be good." Both of them thinking,
That
"Oh yeah,
right. A gun ain't
I've
always
been
your
waiting on something like
protection.
this."
A gun
Right?
can be a gun can be your protection and your downfall.
It could be the reason.
It could be the reason your whole life get taken away from you.
We
So
just gotta, we just gotta let play it out and not be so reactive. I just hopefully the takeaway from this whole conversation is that, you know, we have to have a plan, but at the same time, try to get out of it without being confrontational if possible. Because a lot of times confrontational, it just escalates the situation. it doesn't de-escalate, it makes it worse.
It makes it worse.
So we talk about preservation and longevity. We have to look at the big picture and think about the fact that just because something's happening now, that could be a small thing when you look back on it. So just remind ourselves that even the biggest thing, the biggest hurdles are something small once you look back.
Facts. And that concludes this week's conversation. I want to thank everybody who came out and listened to us as usual. And we have some regulars in the audience, and thank y'all for participating and putting your comments down there. I think that to sum up, it is violent. There's some things that have to change, but there's some things that have to change all across the board, up from the top to the bottom when it comes to the LGBTQ community, the Black community, the government that we're living in now. We got a lot of stuff to change because it's getting really violent. We're hurting each other. This culture of hurting and doing these things to each other, that is not productive. It is not getting us anywhere, and it is making us diminish. It is depleting our numbers, and there's a larger enemy out there. We can't afford to be fighting each other. So with that being said, I want to thank you, sisters. This was a wonderful conversation, and we'll be back
Yes, it
next
was.
week. So tune in next week to Transfusion, ending confusion about transgender. Good night, y'all.
Bye.